Hooray! Hi, everyone. This is Lilian Motambo. Thank you so much for joining me on this YouTube channel, Lilian Motams TV. And for those of you who are watching me on Facebook, please don't forget to tune in to my YouTube channel as well. Please subscribe. We have something very important to discuss right now. A lot of people have called me to make a comment with regards to the elections in MWANSABOMBWE. I mean, if you're happy with what is happening, be happy. At the end of the day, as you can see, I'm in the dark. Many a times people are wondering why I'm not doing live streams. This is because each time I want to do a live stream like now, there is no power. So I've decided to use my phone torchlight and my other ring light as well. And hopefully my phone battery will survive because we're tapping from the phone battery. And this is not the way it should be. We are living like it's a village. You know, there's no way we could be in 2020. There's no power at 6:45. In fact, we just had a power cut just now. And yet, this is a crucial time when families are supposed to be together, eat dinner, cook, do whatsoever. People have come from long journeys, from work, from wherever, and then they come home, there's no power. And you will tell me you are ready to sit down and enjoy this government. Congratulations. As for me and my household, we have decided to change. That is why we are pro what's going on in our community. So, for me, I've been, campaigning and going to different places, speaking to people with regards to, UPND. And in this current battle, which is PF versus UPND, people have said a lot of things that you wouldn't even expect people to say, but they're saying this because they feel like UPND is a party which is always losing. But here's the thing: you can't fight government, especially when it comes to by-elections, because by-elections are just for a few people. So the government has enough resources to win the election. But when it comes to the bigger elections, which is next year, trust me, believe it or not, these guys will be out of government. You can imagine a police officer that is working that can't even access, security because the cadres are in charge of security. Do you expect them to vote for this regime? No, of course. So let's talk about these things. Tell me where you're watching me from. Thank you so much for joining me right now. So there's no power here. As you can see, I'm in the dark. And this is what we expect in 2021. So let's talk about LUKASHYA and MWANSABOMBWE. What is your expectation? Were you expecting these guys to win? What was your expectation? I'm dropping the link now for those of you who would like to join me. And let me know where you're watching me from. Thank you so much. So let me just share this. Also, people are watching from Mazaboka. Thank you so much. From London. Thank you so much. So it's a bit of a disturbing news. A lot of people have been disappointed. A lot of people have expressed their disappointment. But I'm just here to encourage you that don't worry with what's going on now, because I can guarantee you 2021 is going to be a bigger fight. Yes, whatever is going on, we've heard that people who were voting were given, is it 5 kwacha and a bag of meal? And people are asking, what's the UPND strategy for next year? I think you all know that when it comes to the townships where you're feeling the pinch of hardships, many of you have stated that you are tired of this regime. So I know you're tired. So those of you who would like to join me, let me just wait for people to come here. And then I can send you the link. So it's been a defeat for Big Mule of Lukasha, and he's in high spirits, of course. He's in very, very high spirits. People were voting, and I'll just read some of the results. I know you've seen the results, but I'm still going to read them for you because it's important that we know. Yes, streaming in darkness because there's no power, my brother. This is the Zambia you guys have chosen, and it's up to you to change. If this is what you want, go on. And that's why I haven't been streaming for most of the days, because there's never power. And so the next time the power will be here is maybe around 2 a.m. or something. So what am I supposed to do between now and 2 a.m.? Sit and do nothing. You see, and that's what's happening. It becomes a challenge for anybody to even work, from home because of the same. So I'm thinking of getting an inventor. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So there's Kennedy. Kennedy is also in the darkness. This is the reality of things. I'm in the dark because this is the government you've chosen. So let's enjoy and endure this government that you have chosen. Amen. Let's listen to Kennedy. How are you, Kennedy? How are you?
Hi, Lily. How are
Yeah,
you?
good to see you. Mm,
Good,
I'm fine, thank
good to
you.
see you too, Lily. Good to see you, Lily.
Yes, we're in the dark together, my brother.
Yeah, my Eastern province actually, Chipata. It's so dark. hmm
Mm-hmm,
We are waiting
mm-hmm.
for power to be restored. I do believe around 10 p.m. or so, 10
Can
to
you imagine?
11 p.m.
We're living like we're in a village. This is Lusaka,
Ah,
and there's power. Amen,
it's a,
voters. Amen. May the voters continue voting.
the only issue is that there are very few voters who vote on merit. Most of the voters, they just vote for the sake of voting. And if you ask
Mhm,
them the reasons why they are voting, they don't even understand the reason why they go register to be voters and to cast their votes. You see?
mhm.
So
Yeah.
so it's something else which I do believe we need a lot of voter education. But
Mhm,
coming to the topic of today, I do believe UPND has won, to the fact
mhm,
that if you check the statistics of the previous elections of
mhm,
2016, there were
mhm,
no such numbers. Even currently,
mhm,
the current is it campaign manager and mobilization chairperson GPM, the time was with UPND. We never got those numbers, but looking at the way the people are accepted as, it's
mhm,
a biggest, I can say, biggest win. And for the fact that uh, the playing field wasn't level. If the playing field was level, who would have gained? Yeah, they would have won, but would
mhm,
have gained more votes. It's a big blow to them, looking at the numbers which
mhm.
came out to vote. You see,
Yeah.
so at the end of
Mhm,
the day, I see it as on the part of UPND and Big Mule. For as long he doesn't stop campaigning and working for the people, he can do much
mhm,
better than George.
mhm,
That's
mhm.
what I believe. Now, Lily,
Yeah.
I've got two questions for you.
Yeah. Okay.
Lily, I've been following your empowerment schemes and the like with the people of Munad.
Yes.
What are you going to do to sustain the runnings of those youth empowerments and community empowerments? I've seen you distributing eggs. I've seen you, is it the other day when you're distributing some sand and the like? Uh,
Yes. Yes.
on my own, in my own thinking, I do feel that most of the Zambians, they fail to sustain the empowerment which is given to them. So
Mm.
how are you going to work out such that your empowerment gets to be profitable to them, such that they can empower others, other than for them to consume all what you give to them?
Okay, for
Those
them
are my
empowerment.
empowerment.
Please reduce the volume, Mr. Rapson, wherever you are. Reduce the volume. Yeah. For the empowerment schemes, what happens is we are empowering groups of people, branches, and everything, and then we monitor those projects. But when it comes to projects not working, I believe it depends on the groups of people and how they handle themselves. Most people so far they are doing so well, and I think the main issue is people have seen the poverty, and if they don't handle this empowerment well, I don't know if anyone is willing to empower them. I know um, the current MP is trying to give people chickens, which people are eating. They are eating the chickens. She gives them 60 chickens and they eat the chickens. So for our empowerment is encouraging people to make money. You know, if you give people certain things that they can easily just, use, then, they wouldn't be profitable. But most people are really making a profit out of that. But I'll explain to you more offline
Explain to you
when you say,
more offline when you say.
Robson, please, can you reduce your sound? I don't know what you're listening to. You're not supposed to listen to me in the background again, like, because then it echoes. Hold on. Yeah, can you speak now? How are you, sir?
Yeah, can you speak now? How are you, sir? I'm okay. How are you?
Fine, thank you.
Fine, thank you. Yeah. So what I would like to speak is that empowerment that I saw. I usually follow your page and everything that you are doing to the youth at large, especially in Munali constituents. That you are doing. That's a very good job. That's a very good thing because looking at the youth empowerment thing here in Zambia, like me, I'm a youth.
Yes.
I've just been hearing, no, the government has released so much. The government has released so much. Myself, I haven't even seen even a coin. Now, how are we going to access those funds? But as you have made it possible in a way whereby everyone can get access to what? To that empowerment that you are giving to youths. Now, looking
Yeah.
at as the country,
Mm-hmm.
the system that they are using on how to get access to that funds, it is very difficult. Looking at, we are so very busy that we start following up. You see, it's not everyone. It's not everyone. Let me just use maybe vernacular language.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no problem.
Tebonsa bankwanisha okutampa okusunga esabi. Very
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
difficult. Nga twarakitungira kwiza esabi tuli muno mu Lusaka, we are trying to find out some pieceworks and then I should go to my village kwa kutunga esabi. How is it that going to be possible? That there
Mm-hmm.
was one time I went to government complex looking for youth empowerment officers. They told me to say, if we stopped that already long time, sometimes akale. And then some months later, I heard that no, the president has released so much for the youth. Asking how we are going to be
Yeah.
accessing those funds, found that it's so very crucial. It's so crucial. So I don't think it's a good thing. This uh, strategy that you have come with, it's a very good
Mm-hmm.
strategy. Even if the people of Nari constituency going to vote for you as the member of parliament, I can assure them that you are going to manage even more on that. That's the assurance that I
Thank you.
can give. Even
Mm-hmm.
this you are doing, I can assure it even to others also in constituencies, even to other provinces as well. This thing should be done. Even to the government, they should minimize that system of how we are going to get access as youths. Ilias
Yeah.
protocol yalilepa sana efyakukonka pakati tukwate mutachi mulishitenda na maji yalilepa.
want wonse we are youths wonse tukavote tufire triumph of we are all Zambians. We need to get access to those funds. Kishupe chibombe tufire twalyako nomba inanikane fyakushisenda nga fyakosa actually twali babize tutokwanishe. Otherwise,
Farmer election.
You are saying
what is your comment? About the by-elections? In Lukasha.
Oh, the by-elections that went through in Lukasha. I think putting around to blame. It was very okay. It was very okay looking at that. We are more much interested in the next year's 2021 general elections. Because nga twabasana interested muri previous by-elections in Lukasha and I don't know if it's MWANSABOMBWE. If it's that, it won't help us. What we should do, should just focus on the general election that are coming next year. We should vote wisely as youths. Starting from the councillors, MP, presidential, everything. We should know what we'll be doing next year. Make sure that we hit the nail, not like what we did these previous by-elections. We can't complain much. We just say thank you for everyone who took part in those elections. Let them keep up. Even those who haven't yet gotten their voters cards, let them make sure that as they are starting the online and I know they won't work online. Us will be managing to get the voters card online. Let's make sure that we get the voters card online and we make ourselves to vote wisely without fail. Because I know next year it will be quite crucial if we don't prepare ourselves early. So we have to get prepared so that when next year comes, it will be just easy, like you know what I'm talking about. So we just say thank you to everything that we took part in those elections.
Yeah, so results to be the way they were.
Come again?
Did you expect the results? Did you expect the results the way they were? Like the results? Did you expect them like that?
I know I didn't personally, I didn't expect the results to be like that, but unfortunately, nothing that we can do. We just have to accept.
Yeah. Okay.
Just have to accept it has happened. But next time, like we are saying next year, we just have to make sure that we have to expect something that is going to come true.
Okay. Okay. All right. Thank you so much for your contribution.
Thank you very much. We are still with you and contributing others. Let also others contribute. We are hearing from you so that we get more knowledge about.
No problem. Thank you so much. So, Patricia Gobel TV says, says, get solar, otherwise I'm not suffering. Sometimes I ask myself, if these presidents don't admire other countries' warfare. Yes, let me read this comment. I love this comment. Okay, Lavinia Auxilia Kabambo says, during the time when MMD was in power, they won the by-elections, but couldn't make it when it was time for the general elections. There will be a big fight in 2021. Let me read more comments from people. Xavier Mike says, please encourage our president HH that we, as UPND youth, we should stop doing media campaigns. Please, we need change and let's focus on the ground. We don't have jobs for etc. No it. Cornelius says he wants to see me and Ali want to see each other. Jonathan is watching me from Calcutta. Good to see you. So for those of you who would like to join and be guests, okay. Sure, remises next year will not be like this. Each one will be fighting for his own vote. No more in one's place and selling cadres. Yeah, exactly, because people will be focused, and the funds will not be available as well. Samuel Luhana says, but what I can say is that put more money in people not going without money next, then we will win and problems. Top leaders. Somebody saying poor quality of my sound. I don't know if that's true. I can remove myself and bring my okay, I hope you can hear me now. Because what happens. Okay. So let me add this person who's using my name. Oh, again. I hope you can hear me better now. Okay. So hopefully you can hear me. Let me know if you can hear me. Let me know if you can hear me. I'm sure you can hear me now. I don't know if you can hear me. For those of you who are joining on the stream, we're talking about the results in LUKASHYA. I'm just going to be reading some one or two things. I just saw guests that had come on. That's why I decided to speak. But I will be talking about these things. Hopefully you can hear me. Mr. The watch party. Let me know if you can hear me. Okay. Let me know if you can hear me there. Okay, so let me read some more comments on Facebook. Irene is here. I can see Irene Wale coming on. Thanks for those who are watching from the UK. Let me add Irene Wale to the stream so that we can discuss this. How are you, my big sister Irene?
Hi, how are you, Lily?
Hello, Irene.
Hello, I can hear you.
How are you?
I'm all right, thanks. How are you?
I'm okay. I'm okay.
And
What can you say about today's by-election?
to tell you the truth, being far away and you just seeing things happening, you wouldn't understand very well. I personally come from Kasama. All my family members live in Kasama. It's going to be a very, very big task, to tell you the truth, Lily, to change the minds of people in stronghold of PF. From afar, I've been talking to my family members to say, if I wasn't living probably outside the country, you wouldn't live the way you're living because people are suffering. You don't see the hardship that is people are going through. But if there's some people who, when the PF had not given chance to UPND or other parties to go and campaign in the name of COVID, meanwhile they bought things, according to what some of my family members are telling me in the villages. They were going there with the bicycles they had bought for them. They were going there with the food and everything. Meanwhile, they had deprived other parties to go there and campaign, citing COVID. But my main worry is I don't know, maybe we shouldn't be tough on ourselves right now. This is just, we just have to go back to the drawing board and go deep in, down the route, and talk to the people again, explaining proper explaining to them what it is. More especially, even using people who are living in big cities, who come from areas like where I come from, Kasama, to go there and explain to the family members. That's how things are going to work, because people have been brainwashed. They hear what the ruling party is telling them. They don't understand what is going on. Most people don't know what is going on at all. But they go there, they kneel down, they lie to them, they buy them bags of mili meal. How long is the bag of mili meal that they are buying for them this time is going to last? If they are going to come back into power in 2021, I don't know where we'll go, because then the country will just be finished. That's why we have to work hard just now. This is just a reminder to each and everyone to say we shouldn't be comfortable. Even if we are doing rallies and we see so many people can be manipulated. As soon as they are given 50 kwacha, that's all they need. That's why we have to make sure we go. It's now that we have to go down in the grassroots level, in the villages, and talk to people and make sure they understand. Getting whatever they are buying for them, well, they can receive with both hands, but meanwhile they know what they are doing. That's all I'm asking. By the way, I'll be in Kasama for 3 months. By the way, I'm not mentioning the time I'll be coming, but I'll try by all means to go down and see what we can do wherever we can to change things. This is my take.
Yeah, that would be good. Aaron is saying some suggest we didn't do a good job in Lukasha and MWANSABOMBWE. Truth be told, we did well despite losing. PF is becoming brutal in its attempt to remain in power.
Yeah.
But the Zambians will win next year. What happens in elections can only be understood by those who play the game.
Yeah.
It's deeper than what you see on the surface. If we have to defeat PF next year, all Zambians must and should participate in this revolution.
Absolutely.
The winners will be Zambians, because her church is simply our leader from Shamowa.
Absolutely.
Powerful Shamowa. Thank you so much, Shamowa, for that powerful comment. And then we have another comment from King Solomon, who says, let us not predict what will happen next year, 2021 elections, but let us put our country in God's protection. We all know that the devil has come to kill, to destroy. Mind you, we only have our country, Zambia.
Yeah.
Keith Mokeleba says, no, PF wins using tribalism. Their campaigns is filled with tribal talks. That's a powerful comment there. Hi, Waku, how are you? Where are you watching us from? Hi, Waku. Hello. Hi, Waku. Okay, don't know whether Waku is asleep or not. Yeah, so it appears, people are feeling the pain. Somebody just commented, I'm feeling the pain, I'm feeling the pain. People are feeling the pain, but it depends on you, the Zambian people, if you are prepared for change or you are ready to continue living in this kind of arrangement. For me personally, what I would say is we shouldn't lose hope. Everything in life there is always a beginning and an ending. At one time, most of these people who are in government were nobodies. And today they feel they are above the law, they can do whatever they want. Their time will come when we'll be saying this is a thing of the past, it happened. And what we will need to do is to keep our legacy as Zambians strong, our legacy of peace, unity, and a country that is very loving. And that's why I don't tolerate violence. I've come across what PF cadres have been doing. Even in LUKASHYA, we saw a video where a PF cadre was destroying a campaign vehicle in LUKASHYA. And this PF cadre happens to be a pastor as well. And he's now become a PF cadre because that's how he's surviving. People are surviving through cadreism. And it should never be the way. People should be aiming for long-term employment and opportunities and not looking at cadreism as their means of survival. So there's a lot of bootlicking, Auntie Irene, going on in Zambia, where people are following whatever the government is doing. They are pro-government, despite people suffering. You know, I've seen huge levels of poverty in Zambia, to the level where I'm just asking myself, where have these people been all this while? So in LUKASHYA, MWANSABOMBWE, if people can be paid 5 kwacha, and a bag of meal, and they are happy with what's going on, I mean, it's a personal choice. But at the end of the day, we need to keep on educating these people. And the question I'm asking as well is, how much time do people need to be told? And whoever is campaigning as well, do your best. You know, people are hungry. You can't go and see people without even buying them a drink or something. At least buy them water, quench their thirst. Let these people know that with the little you have, you can at least buy them a drink.
You're sharing.
Tell them that things will be better. But then if you're going to see these people, you're empty-handed, which is a culture politically in Zambia, which I have observed from my observation, that's the culture in Zambia, where when, you know, people are visiting, they're expected, you know, if you're a politician, you're visiting people, you're expected to leave money for drinks and to give people drinks as well. So what would you comment anyway about, okay, Belton says, I strongly feel that UPND should convince voters to move from their comfortable homes to the polling stations and participate in the actual voting on Voters' Day, just as they have convinced them to be UPND members. Well done. UPND people don't vote, but are good at supporting the party by mouth and texting on Facebook. UPND will make the great hope. Okay, let me just add Innocent. Innocent, how are you? You've been trying to connect. How are you? Hi, Innocent. Hello. Hi, Innocent. Hi. Maybe. Hello, Innocent. How are you? Hello, Innocent.
We are fine. How are you?
Oh, okay. Now it's coming back. Okay. Just a second. Sorry. How are you, Innocent? Innocent, how are you? How are you? Okay, I think we're having a problem with Innocent. Rapson, would you like to comment on anything?
I think basista n'abalanda kale ife bakifa mu kulanda abantu abo bakuma twalikalapo kuma villages bonse twali mwana nefikitika n'ama challenges yonse tupitamu, but the thing was twafira okukita understand fully with what is happening on the ground. You know what is happening on the ground matters efire tukitana affect. So firiama vote yafumine ku Lukashyya bakiranda basisa kwati there was they were taking them something bali batwalifa kwatwalira, so they got excited through those things for 2 days. Then after 2 days what is it going to happen after kabunga kawasaka kabunga ngakapwa? They were not reasoning all those. Twalalanda kuma villages twalalanda limbati kwa challenges yama road, especially mostly like chama fertilizer. Mwalasanga fertilizer it will be coming maybe December, January. They should be understanding all those things because nga tuli kumushi effort tukita consider sana it's fertilizer. It's fertilizer and then kuli fertilizer ila ine chimbi chintu ko tuinga kita consider sana kuli the economy. The dollar is bad. The dollar is bad. Wetanga kuba tuletirwa okwa mkushita fertilizer fesaka twasanga isaka ya fertilizer it's 500 kwacha. Now how many bags of fertilizer am I going to buy to manage to buy? There are few who are going to manage actually, but even though pantu my villages amayanda yengi sana, you find that most of them they can't even afford to buy 2 bags of fertilizer. So if the government have brought the hand to say, okay, cooperatives will be helping you this and this and this and this and this, then they should minimize the time baleta bwangu fertilizer so that abantu bakitashani babonfya uli omufundo okulingana ekibalengera okubonfya. After that ngata batuletere bwangu fertilizer twalasanga ati ba food reserve agency they are buying maize at cheap price. Ngata basasenda mataba twashara kwisafunya more the money we used to buy fertilizer, labor, transport and other things. We found that we are making loss. We are not doing anything. Found that we are not even selling more maize to FRA. We are selling maize to private sectors, private companies. And no one is going to because we know that was ku FRA twalako kolokufola futi tukafula MPH nono tashaka kumane nokulingana okufunya motion sema expenses what happened. So that picture again ya muwa kuma villages na ewe ndi kuma village, so nkamvotera ku village tufire twale kita reason kubati what will happen to that. Because of course we have seen challenges, a lot of, you know, I saw a comment in the afternoon, a guy said, you know, the life here in town, it's very hard for me just to find a coin. And then Imamua Kwamuko, you'll be calling me to say, okay, uncle, we are asking this and this and this for fertilizer, this and this. And now, you are not reasoning on how me here in a town, I'm going to manage to send you even a 2 kwacha. Because finding a 2 kwacha here in town, it's quite crucial. My money, okay? And then the other thing again, that the people of rural areas are not understanding is that kuli economy mwalasanga ati nga maroads pakoya mkushita pesinto ila ine fertilizer ida. I'll buy a fertilizer at 500 kwacha in town. Now to transport it which is safe ku village, it may cost even close to 1,000. Now, how many bags of fertilizer am I going to manage if I'm buying a bag of fertilizer close to 1,000? How much am I making? You see? So they should look in all those areas. We should look in all those areas. We make sure. So let's just make sure that this coming election we still have time up. Not to attention up. To watch the reason we know apa. To watch the reason we know apa. To watch the mind. To watch the make up one thing so that twice sure with what we are doing. See, we've suffered. I'll say other thing again, kuli ifufua kuma rural area. Falasangati, ama bursaries, sometimes back, kuma schools, kuma education. Sometimes back ama bursaries, whatever. They'll give you a bursary, just like that, in the upper and up. Now, upper, when the government gives you a bursary, it will be more like a loan now, which is a very bad thing. You see, we are paying tax. We are paying tax every month. When we ask, most of us, even me, I didn't know the purpose of tax. When I asked, they explained to me a lot of things that made sense to me. But when I look into those, bushe vijavamene vananiuza kuti tax yako inolipira isevenza vasona so bushe isevenza vazona waona ka nizapeza kuti zonse zijandrama za mabazari zizija it's taxpayers money maona ka ma infrastructure development yonse it's taxpayers money. Now you find that when I go to hospital today bazani pima mkwara waso uzando ugure chemistry. When I pay tax, I ask, why am I paying tax? They will tell me to say, tipanga my infrastructure, my hospitals, no gula mankwara my hospitals. Now, ngati tigula mankwara my hospitals. Why am I going to buy medicine from chemistry? That's another challenge. That my issues are serious. Tima yasura, tima mga very normal. Things are not normal. They are abnormal. You see.
Okay.
Then
thank you so much. Let me get up. Thank you so much. Let me get up. Takawa, I think is losing signal. Takawa, I think is losing signal. Takawa. Hi, Takawa. Hi, Takawa. Oh, he needs to unmute his music.
Hello. Hello.
Yeah, Takawa, how are you? Yeah, Takawa, how are you?
Yes, I'm here. How are you?
Please, can you turn off every radio because I have a copyright stream. Please, can you turn off every radio because I have a copyright stream. Hello? Okay. Let me add Conrad. Hi, Conrad. How are you?
Hello, I'm fine. And how are you? Can you hear
Hi,
me?
Conrad.
Can you hear
I'm
me?
fine. Takawa. Yeah, I'm fine. Takawa, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. I'm here.
Okay, you can
Can you
speak
hear
up,
me
sir.
clearly now?
How are you? Yes, I can.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Yeah. What's your comment on what's happened in MWANSABOMBWE and LUKASHYA for the by-elections?
Okay, I just joined the conversation, but I followed up the news and seeing what was happening on the ground and the campaigns and how the people are really tired of the situation on the ground. I see really that something went wrong.
Okay.
I concur with the first speaker who said there was some kind of tribal and also some kind of manipulation of the results.
Okay. Yeah, because like he said, it's impossible. Like looking at 2016 elections till now, and then all of a sudden we have 13,000 people voting in the area, and then UPND only has 2,000. So I wanted to have comments from you guys, especially those people who are there who've been affected, mostly because you're there and you've seen these things happening. And from what we saw a great welcome of Mr. Hakainde Hichilema in both areas. So I was also shocked and surprised to see that this was happening. So what's your comment about the candidates that were put forth to represent UPND? Were they loved on ground, and how come the results are different? Hello? Takawa? Okay. Okay, Conrad, how are you? Conrad, please, can you turn off every sound from your background because it will copyright my stream, please?
All
Conrad,
right,
you can speak now.
I hope you can hear me now. I think it's
Yes.
it's somewhere they are shouting. There's a mosque nearby, so yeah.
Okay.
Hope you can get me.
Yes,
Yeah,
I can. Yeah.
I think whatever happened yesterday, the aftermath of the elections in LUKASHYA, MWANSABOMBWE, whatever, I think we can look at it in various ways. One, it takes the political parties, UPND, again, to do some homework, to go back to the drawing board and check out what really was the problem. Like, you see, the political mood on the ground was quite different from what we saw in the results. Not so. Yeah, that is true. But what was really the problem? What really went wrong? Like, how could we be like, how did they just beat us with such huge margins? In some areas, imagine someone getting 600 votes to 0. I don't know how genuine that is though, but 600 to 0. Like, what really did we go? Where did we go wrong? Is it the people we adopted, or is it the message we took? Or yeah, maybe it could be about the message we took. For example, when we are talking about with people in rural areas, we should understand that the problems that people, city dwellers, town dwellers, and people in rural areas face are kind of different. When we are speaking to people in towns, we are talking about things like corruption, things like unemployment, things like poverty, things like lack of medicines in hospitals, things like say bad township roads, things like lack of, say, proper services like garbage collection and things of that sort. Yeah, things of that sort. But when we are talking about people in rural areas, people in rural areas don't really, the things that affect us in towns don't really affect those in rural areas. Those in rural areas, we're just talking about things like something like taking fertilizer early to those people in villages, having a fair market price for maize and things like that, maybe grading roads. What about, say, maize and all those kind of things? So like, PF has the capacity to take fertilizer to the villages, to buy whatever amount of metric tons of maize and give those villagers as bribes. But people in the opposition like UPND don't have necessarily the resources to buy the 3,000 by 50 kg bags of maize and bribe villagers out there. There are no resources to do that. So what really do we tell those people in the villages? Those are some of the things that we have to go back to the drawing board and introspect. Maybe change the message in that direction. We can't tell people in the villages about the exchange rate, say. They don't know about that thing. Because people in the villages, we can't tell them about load shedding. They don't have electricity in their houses. We can't tell them about, say, high water bills, high electricity tariffs. They use solar. Some of them, they are not even connected to electricity at all. We can't tell them about unemployment because they create their own jobs by producing their own food, farming, and things like that. So the only thing where we are supposed to do our promises much on are things like You see, telling them like how these people, you see, over the years, fertilizer comes late to your villages. They don't give you fair prices to sell your maize. They buy your maize at 110, despite that you buy your fertilizers at 300 and things like that. Those are some of the things we're supposed to be telling our villagers. Like, no, we will grade the road. When we come in, we'll ensure that the roads to the markets, to urban areas are graded and things like that. Those are some of the things we're supposed to be telling them. Yeah. So
now wait, Conrad, wait. How can you tell somebody who's hungry that their road will be graded? I think we need to be realistic, guys. You know, and this is one thing that people need to learn with every election, is that there is hunger in Zambia, especially during this by-election. And I want to read something for you right now on a WhatsApp group. Somebody posted, and this person is actually upset about the whole thing and has even left the group. But the person said, look, instead of an outright funeral, please stopping PF winning by-elections at large in our stronghold. You know, where we thought PF can win. Okay, hold on. Yeah, sorry. Let me start from the beginning. Okay, so this person was saying, you know, good morning and greetings from Kasama. Don't just fight on social media. That's what the person said. Don't just fight on social media. Don't just fight on social media from various destinations. We knew that given the nature of the by-elections and PF, you know, campaigns, most likely the win. Please, for me, the game is simple. In certain strategic positions of the party, we need people of influence to move the ground.
Yes.
People who can leave Lusaka, yeah? People who can leave Lusaka. Okay. People who can leave, I hope you're listening. People who can leave Lusaka.
Yes, I'm listening.
Okay, okay.
And
People
go to
who
the
can
ground,
leave Lusaka
to the grassroots.
and be all over the country with or without HH to campaign. Yeah? And be heard by ordinary people. Now look,
yeah, something like
this
that.
This is what I have always said. If people expect to win an election, you need to take this by the horn, yeah? People should not expect Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, because he's a millionaire, to be the only one to fund these elections, to be the only one to support people on the grassroots. And because the man is a millionaire, we have people who are relaxed, like, okay, he will do it. Now, this man has to pay every month over 250,000 kwacha from his pocket. Even for this by-election, he has to pay from his pocket. We need more people who are hungry for change. And not people who are relying on the political party structures to help change things. It's not going to happen. People need to be more hungry than before. Because then if we are relying on somebody to send you to say, go and campaign, you can sacrifice. You know, we've just listened to Irene Walia, who lives in the US, that has said, I'm going to go for 3 months and campaign. She'll leave the US, go to campaign, meaning she's working hard right now, saving a little bit of money. We need more people like that who can say, I will save money. If it's selling my car, going to my village, campaigning even if for a month or two, go and leave from work. And if the people need food, give them food. Okay? Enough of campaigning and talking to people saying, next year we're going to change things. The other, people are hungry right now. People are struggling. So let me continue reading what this man said. Hold on. It's a long post, and I thought it's very, very powerful that he, spoke about this. So if we expect things to change, people should be ready to sacrifice their jobs. People should be ready to sacrifice their money and not depend on others in order for change to happen. And in any election, we need money. And that is why I keep on telling people in the diaspora, say, yes, it's nice for you to talk in the diaspora and say, yes, we need change. But what is your contribution towards that change? We've had issues of NRCs whereby when the young people, we try to assist them with transport money to go and collect their NRCs, they go to Boma or wherever they're told, go back home. And it's a cycle. But we've seen 12-year-olds and 10-year-olds collecting their NRCs. But for somebody who is mature, it is a challenge. Okay, so this person added that we need more people to leave Lusaka and go on ground. HH is not enough to be almost the sole campaigner. We need to persuade people and not merely rely on their suffering that they will vote for us. Yeah, and I know that what I'm saying, many of you know it, and it is an popular position in some circles. Yes, I am saying we need new and more energy to enable us cross for LUKASHYA and MWANSABOMBWE. That was a good seed planted, come 2021. And then the person was just saying that, look at the world now. This is a period of COVID-19 where it is a period of failure. But out of COVID-19, businesses were born. You see, out of the toughest period of time, face masks, businesses were born, hand sanitizers were born, hand washing basins were born. And this person is saying that, look, the world is praising COVID-19 as a mother of innovation. So going forward, why not learn something from yesterday's vote and improve our situation? In short, I am tired of reading statements from politically faint-hearted UPND members. And the problem that I am seeing as well is people who are not ready to sacrifice their money. If these guys are giving people meal, give the people meal as well. It's simple.
Exactly.
Because if you expect someone in the village to vote for you and all they need is 10 kwacha to survive and a bag of meal, give them that.
Yeah.
Understand? Because then they'll know, okay, these guys are doing the same, these guys are doing the same. So who will we vote for? Let's go for real change. But then if you go with words full of sweet mouths, or mouth full of sweet mouth. Is it words? Yeah.
Sweet talk, things like that.
I'm not going to vote for you. And that is why, if you see the way I have been doing it, this is something that I'm sure most of you have observed. I went to the people and all I saw was poverty. And I told them, look, come up with a business project as groups. Tell me what you want to do. And people say they wanted to do eggs. Others say they wanted to do charcoal business. Others say they wanted to do rice. That's me empowering these people before the election. Now tell me, during the election, these guys will be hungry. They will have managed to buy themselves a bag of meal. They will have managed to buy themselves at least a quick meal. But then you're talking to people who don't even have 2 kwacha. This is 2 kwacha, by the way. People who don't even have 2 kwacha. There's no jobs now in Zambia because of COVID-19. People who worked as garden boys now don't have jobs. People who worked as maids don't have jobs. So you're going to speak to somebody who is dead hungry, and you're telling them, No, when you vote for me, we're going to bring change. Start by demonstrating the change. And that's by allowing people to enjoy. Unfortunately, that's the election in Africa. If people don't see you offer them something tough. I've just explained from the beginning, I was building up something slowly. And I was saying, look, if you are going to meet people at any meeting in the political arena of Zambia now, you need to buy them a soft drink. It's their expectation. So if you don't buy them soft drinks, and somebody goes there and say, okay, I'm going to give you soft drinks, I'm going to give you chitenges, I'm going to give you rice, I'm going to give you this and this. Who do you think the people vote for? The people who offer them.
Someone else.
And that's why I've been trying to open up the minds of the people of Monali constituency to say, look, this is a situation. Better things will come. Here is a small empowerment for now. Let me listen to Jojo. Hi, Jojo. How are you? Hi, Jojo.
Hello, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Good to see you here.
Sure, I'm happy also.
Yeah. What's your contribution about the elections?
Yeah, it's so sad to see how corrupt PF government is.
Yeah.
And I feel like, again, us UPND have got a problem. Okay. It's very important that we use our structures. Okay. Our structures must be effective, not only times of campaigns or election rather, but campaigning must be continuously. Okay.
Yes.
And the people must develop confidence in the local leadership. And like we import people all the way from Lusaka to go and campaign. People are not aware of the problems of MWANSABOMBWE or LUKASHYA. So we need that confidence in our structure leaders. Our leaders must work hard, okay? Because to tell you the truth, next year it will be a tough game, okay? So we need to spread our message now. It must be all over the country, sure.
And you know, I was surprised. The thing is, right, if people need to have faith in you as a structure, let's rely on the structures that are already there. Those are the structures that will help us in order for us to win the election. But then if you sideline them and say, oh, you can't be the campaign manager is going to be this other one who has no idea of what's going on, like what you're saying. Don't expect people to accept that person. I mean, they'll be wondering, and villagers are difficult to convince. They need somebody that they already know. But what would be your comment, Jojo, about Big Mule's adoption? Was it a good idea or was it a mistake?
Concerning Big Mule, it was a good idea.
Okay.
Yeah, it was. It's only that things just didn't turn to our side. Yeah, but with adoption of him, it was just a good idea because the man is already known that side, and like picking someone who doesn't know the problems of those people that side. Yeah.
And the thing is, right? I met somebody today in Monaliwad, and this person is from Kasama, and they were saying, LUKASHYA is nowhere near developed. And yet they're still saying Pabwato, Pabwato, Pabwato. These people need people to educate them, to change their mindset. UPND needs to be more on ground. They need to support these people, offer them empowerment, and offer them like what is being offered. Because for a villager, I mean, 5 kwacha is nothing. A person in Lusaka will never accept 5 kwacha. They will accept 50 kwacha. But 5 kwacha is nothing for a vote. So what would you say about that?
Sorry, come again. My network is kind of tripping.
Okay, what I was saying is, you've obviously seen what's going on, like, in LUKASHYA, and how, people are being given 5 kwacha and millimil for them to be to vote for PF. So what would you say about PF using that strategy? Should UPND do the same? Or should we just look at it and say, oh, the pay for feeding? What do you think of that?
Yeah, concerning the blades, it's so unfortunate that the people in government are using them. Okay, and you see, the problem that we are facing right now, because PF government is already in power, so it's very hard even to report those who are breaking the law. But if UPND will start using their political style, will dent our image. Okay, as we need to maintain our image to the public the way we are, and that's the quality leadership that we need to provide even in power. People must be independent on choosing, not a political transaction. Okay, people must be independent. That autonomy must be given to them to choose people that they want to be represented by.
Okay, Giorgio, but what do you think of the situation of now, presently, when COVID-19? People are hungry. There's no food. There's no jobs. Shouldn't we at least even feed these people? Shouldn't we at least, because look at a place like LUKASHYA, maybe there's no opportunity at all. Shouldn't we at least give them millimil or food hampers or something? Not as a gesture, because I think it's just that the by-elections, they were not planned. You know how it is after someone dies. Huh? But in the case of next year, between now and next year, shouldn't we at least be looking after those people in the communities? Forming groups and seeing how we can help them on a long term than short term, 1 million bag of millimil and that's it. Shouldn't we use that better strategy of at least empowering these people?
Yeah, concerning that, it's very important actually. We in the UPND, we need to start empowerment programs. Okay, and those empowerment programs must start now as an aid to different wards and communities that we are coming from. Okay, it's one way people will trust us. Okay, and like when it's during election, then we start giving aid. It's more like we are just bribing people. But if we start now helping people, people will develop that confidence in us. They will see the quality of leadership that we possess, and what more when we accumulate that positions.
So, meaning, the aspect of empowerment is important, isn't it? Because for me, my understanding is obviously the by-election was not something that we planned for. The people who were in those positions died. As a result of that, we've had these by-elections in different areas. May their souls rest in peace. But from now till next year, in these places, we need to start doing something. People need to form groups and start supporting these people. Let me have Mercy commenting on this matter all the way from Britain. How are you, my sister?
Hello, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you, Mercy. This is what's happening here. I am always in the dark, and that's preventing me from having these live streams. Today I said, no, I'm gonna go live no matter how dark it is.
Yeah.
There's never power in the evening, never.
Oh my God. And yet people are expected to pay the bills. Yes, I hear people are spending a lot more now on electricity than they used to a few years ago.
Yeah.
Apparently it's gone up.
Yes, it's true.
Wow, that is really sad. Yeah, I find the results quite shocking, considering the images that I was seeing of how the opposition were being welcomed, particularly UPND in LUKASHYA. It really, the amount of votes doesn't reflect the celebrations that were there prior to the time that people went to vote. So personally, I still have questions because I keep speaking about institutions that we have in Zambia, which I don't feel are independent, like the ECZ. They're meant to be independent, but they are not. And then also they seem to be turning a blind eye to potential risks that could affect the elections. Like when you're seeing 10-year-olds, 14-year-olds getting NRCs right about this time, it should show you that their intention is to manipulate the votes. That is essentially why they are doing it. But then when you have risk like that, it doesn't make sense that you don't put things in place to prevent it. Then also there's this reducing of the registration of votes to 30 days, where the ECZ are actually willing to break the law and limit the registration period to make it shorter. That just raises doubts for me. So an institution like that, personally, I wouldn't trust it to be fair when it comes to elections, because everything that they seem to be doing, it's things that are going to be benefiting the ruling party rather than the Zambian people, or rather than, you know, themselves having to do a job in an objective manner. So I find that very, very sad. I also think there were various issues at play when it comes to these elections. You have to remember there isn't a level playing field. You know, you can see that the opposition are quite strong and a formidable challenge to the current ruling party, but there isn't a level playing field. The reason I say that is because of the intimidation and violence that we keep seeing. You're not free to wear, you know, regalia, you know, especially the ones representing the opposition. You're not free to do that, or they're going to beat you up. So you have intimidation and violence. Recently, I saw a video where they were damaging a vehicle that belongs to the UPND. So there's no fairness there. And then you have leadership who say nothing when people who represent them or their party are behaving in violent and intimidating manner. They say absolutely nothing. Like the president has said nothing on the behavior of his party members. So that silence says, you know, you are representing me. I approve of your intimidation and violence. Carry on, you know, cause as much damage as you can to UPND vehicles and anything else that is opposition. That's what that says to me. So when you have situations like that, there's also that's one of the challenges that people will be facing, because you'll be thinking about your life as well. Nobody would want to go out and, you know, be killed in the process of campaigning. If you have children, you know, a wife at home or a husband, you'll be concerned about things like that. So there are those things at play. Then you think of the level of education when you go into the rural areas. They think about different things. For them, their level of understanding when it comes to the economy will not be the same as someone who is educated. Someone who is educated will see roads being constructed, you know, the shoulder jobs that are being done, shopping malls, and a few things here and there. When you're educated, you'll be able to see that it's just a cosmetic exercise. There isn't actually anything that is bringing in revenue into the country or into the economy. You don't have that. But when you're not educated and you see things like that, shiny things, immediately you're going to think, oh yeah, great. You know, they are doing a good job. So there is that challenge as well when it comes to education. So maybe it is time to use a different strategy, because as we know, things are not fair right now. You know, you're facing violence as the opposition, and then also you can't campaign freely. In some instances, I hear some people have been arrested who have committed no crimes, but they just went maybe to make an inquiry, or they decided to campaign. So you're facing all of those things against you when things should be fair. What that says to me as well is the fear and panic on the side of the ruling party, because if they felt confident that they could win, then they're not going to be manipulating anything. They will ensure that it's a level playing field and it will be left for the people to decide. So what can people do? Start with family members, people in your circle. Get organized. You know, if you have to pay for people to get on a bus to go and try and get NRCs, then do that. And also continuously educating people and reminding them that if this government continues to rule, you who actually supports them, you know, you could be affected as well, which means you wouldn't be able to send money, for instance, to people in the village, in rural areas, because normally people would ask for support for someone who they feel is doing a little bit better than them. Maybe they live in Lusaka, there's someone in the village, you're the one that's constantly supporting. But then if that is cut off, those are the people that are going to be affected. So it's things like that that we can do bit by bit, but it's not easy. It's a wake-up call. We just have to continue. It's not time to give up. We have to, you know, keep going forward and arise and continue educating people. Yeah, and do what we can. You know, contribute where we can financially. If that's going to help out, we do that, but we cannot stop. We have to continue. Those are my thoughts for now. Oh, sorry, I can't actually hear you. I think you might be on mute.
Sorry, and Messi. I was saying that and Messi, a bag of mini meal is presently at 120 kwacha.
Wow.
During MMD, a bag of mini meal was 45 kwacha. Now, if we calculate 120 kwacha, we divide it in pounds. That's almost £5 a bag.
Wow.
£5, and that's a lot of money for people. Thank you so much for your contribution. Someone says Messi. Oh well. Okay. Kasamba Muyoka says that's very powerful. Sis from UK, there should be fairness when it comes to campaigning. Why should UPND cadres be made to suffer in broad daylight? This is one Zambia, one nation. So I was talking about empowering people as well in those villages. I know we are opposition, it's not easy, but I think we can come up with a Ubuntu process where we work as teams. We work as Ubuntu. Hi, Levy, how are you? What's your contribution, sir?
Oh, thank you, madam, for according me this chance to talk to you. I can see you in a dark that side. Where I am, there's power. Yeah. First and foremost, I really thank you.
Okay. Yeah.
You can't access UPND, guys. And we can reach UPND through you. What I would ask you, madam, I would want you to seek an audience to meet the president of UPND, Mr. Hakainde Hichilema. When you meet this man, please let you guys organize these guys where PF has got a stronghold. Get those people who are based there. Kwa mene kuminzi kuja ala under UPND. Let these guys continue. If it means we the people in urban areas kwamba kusonga tundrama kubatumira bajabantu almost every month, like paying them. Let's do that, because that's the only way we get the numbers. Let those people be on the ground. Tell those people on why we people in town were affected much, and when we get affected, they also get affected that side. Just like this madam from UK was saying, because if we get affected as in urban areas, those guys will get affected more.
And you see, this is why
we meet him Takamba, and I said, we don't want to go.
Yeah.
Hello?
Hello, yeah, carry on.
Okay, if we can meet the president, we air out our views. We don't want to go through the channels where we won't be accorded the chance to talk to the president. Let's have a caucus where we meet the president and tell him what we think can help UPND to win an election. Not about Kurima bridges to meet the president. No, we want to talk to him direct. If it means you, madam, organize a meeting, then you organize my youth and those people who think can air out what they feel can help the UPND team to win. As we are ready to meet the president. Talking to one of the guys who under your constraints. I talked to him. I think tomorrow I'll call you so that we see how best we can meet and do something that can help us. I know our brother Chela is on the ground. Organize those guys who you feel can help.
Yeah. We need more people on the ground. Carlos Shindo says here in Colombia,
if people can suffer like that.
Carry on. The signal was going off. Carry on.
Okay. I think that's enough. That's enough. Thank you so much, madam. That's enough. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Somebody is just commenting that in Kalumbila, Milimiu is 148 kwacha. The thing is, right, if you contact me via inbox, there's a way in which you can meet the big man.
Okay.
And
can I add on that?
So that you guys can meet him and tell him these things, because I'm sure what we need is a strategy. And looking at the pattern of the elections in Zambia, how is the voting pattern like? But obviously this one for yesterday, the results, they are very exaggerated. We don't expect such high numbers of voters in those areas. And for the people that were queuing up there, I don't think it was 13,000. But anyhow, it's a victorious moment for them. But for 2021, we need to be more strategic in terms of how we win the hearts of the people. So that one is a very good comment, and we need to find ways and means of us linking up with Mr. Hakainde Hichilema. We need more people who are on the ground. Like somebody has commented, people who are in Lusaka town that are willing to sacrifice and go to the village and be there on ground and speaking to people for days and days and days and days. We should never leave this campaign to the last minute. Obviously, the by-election was different. It's a by-election. So that one we can understand, honestly. Okay. Let's have Conrad. Yes, Conrad. Hi.
Yeah, just to add on what he was saying, the previous speaker was saying, I think this time around, we should, those of you who can, those of you who can reach the secretariat out there, I think you can advise some of these people like to be organizing maybe regular, say, Zoom meetings which are like open to almost everyone who is willing to join, and so that people can be pumping in some ideas on how best we can strategize to win the hearts of the people out there, especially in the villages. In the villages, that's where really the biggest challenge is, where people vote based on handouts. So and also how we can resolve problems at the secretariat level. You see, at the secretariat level, there are also problems where people there maybe are not willing to open up to regular citizens who've got ideas on how they would want to advise them and things like that. The secretariat should be open and be ready to listen to anyone who is ready to contribute, who means well to contribute for the party, in terms of ideas and everything. It's all ideas that we need, to win the hearts of the people out there in the villages, where the biggest problem is. What happened in MWANSABOMBWE and LUKASHYA okay, it's a setback, of course, but we can't give up and we can't get frustrated just there. We need to focus on. Then again, you talked about the idea of empowerment. Yes, I think when we are doing the door-to-door campaigns out there, empowerment very important, as opposed to bribing. bribing where something just when the by-election, say by-election is happening at that moment, then you go out and start dishing out meal and everything. People may not understand our message in that way. They may think like UPND is not different from PF style of doing things, but the empowerment strategy can actually be better. It's actually the best because it can be happening almost at every time, whether there's a by-election or not. As long as those people who are on the grassroots, those people who are on the ground there, they are well funded to be delivering the empowerment materials to people in the branches and in the wards, so that everyone can be doing up something, whether there's a by-election or not. And that way, UPND will look different in the eyes of the people, as opposed to the where you just go when there's an election and start giving people money or whatever, like changes and things like that. People will think like our ideologies are not different from those of the PF. Even if when you come in government, they will think like even if UPND comes in government, they'll be behaving the same like PF, like bribing voters at a gunpoint, at the last point. Then after electing them, they go and disappear for good. So I think if we act differently than the way PF does it, then we will be appreciated by the people. Yes, that's all for now.
Okay, thank you so much, Conrad, for your comment. I think Levi is back now because he had gone. Gordon Kuyumba says Akaso. Obviously, you cannot compare the current government's money to our money, my personal money. But what I will say is, okay, Benson is in MWANSABOMBWE. Benson, can you tell us about MWANSABOMBWE, please? I wish you could join us and discuss what's happening in MWANSABOMBWE. I wish you could tell us what's happening in MWANSABOMBWE. It's important we have people that are able to support the movement, what's going on. Otherwise, we won't see a change in what's going on in Zambia. Natasha says she sees corruption all over written. Okay. Levi, would you like to say anything else, or Messi, and then I close the stream? I just want to read.
Okay, let me just come in and comment something. I don't know why people would say Akaso, because this is a noble cause. Why should you be paid to do something that you have an effect on the future generation? I feel it's not fair where you have to be paid money for you to vote for someone. That's not the way it should go. Because one thing we should always...
Yeah. Oh, his thing is falling.
Sacrifice, very important. Not every time wanting to be paid.
And if we don't make the right decision, it doesn't work. Let's not be paid because I have to vote for someone. Let's do something. Let's I'll have children who should enjoy this life even when I'm gone. We shouldn't be paid for us to do something which will help everyone in the future to come. I think
Okay, like Uncle John's K. Kasonso commented that please don't turn this show into a wine party for PF tribal victories in their villages. Village votes are always about tribes or families. Tribalism is a part of politics everywhere. Tribalism is a part of politics everywhere. We must sensitize our non-member families to claim their rights to their villages. I, for one, has started a campaign to expel all Chitimukulu's people from my grandfather's villages, farms, mines of Northwestern province. Zambia has 5 out of 6 presidents from the same region since independence. Are you telling me there are no wise people from the other half? We have to start a journey to have 2 countries living side by side. Enough is enough. That's a powerful comment, really. Very, very powerful. Oh, I don't know, maybe he had deleted it. Yeah, but it's a very powerful comment. And then let me read another comment. Okay, so Ethel says 1. Thank you, Ethel, for this contribution. Ethel says 1. But how long will you give food handouts? 2. And in all honesty, these food handouts come in when you politicians are asking for votes. 3, teach and empower people, including free education. That's our stance as UPND, to empower people. So that's a very, very powerful contribution. This is on my Facebook normal page. So empowerment is part of the UPND manifesto, but I'm not here to sell UPND party or anything like that, but I'm just here just trying to speak as a Zambian and complaining about these issues. How best can the opposition win this political game in 2021? Okay, let me see this as well. Okay, Musala is failing to connect. Let me get the link again for those who want to connect. Musonda wants to connect. And then I want to read another comment I've just seen. Okay. Daniel says it's now CIS. We need to contribute a $10, $10 note to be used for campaign in Mapula and Northern. Meaning people should donate $10. If only people can use this money wisely, then it will help. Okay, Felix Mutali says if a grade 12 from LUKASHYA and MWANSABOMBWE comes well, what do you expect from those waiting for fertilizers and bicycles? Wow. Let me see another comment from the Watch Party. Jacqueline says 2021 we're voting. Yeah. Okay. Let me see this other comment. Okay. So that's the live discussion. And my battery for my phone where I'm connecting is going to be running out, and there's no power. I'm using the laptop charge. So that's not that much. But otherwise, what are your last sayings, Messi and Conrad? And then we can end this live stream. Given Lupia says villagers are difficult to convince without money or food. Period. I said it in the beginning. Therefore, UPND should be ready to spend. Trust me, without bread, you won't get any votes from the rural areas. And that's what I have observed from the political arena of Zambia, is that people have been spoon-fed a lot. Mercy, the way it is, when you go for any meeting, you are going to address people. In the UK, when you're going to address people, you are a guest. They are supposed to look after you. So they provide you tea and coffee. But in Zambia, it's different. When you're going to see people, you're going to address them, you have to go there with the drinks, crates of drinks. If they don't have a soft drink, there wasn't any meeting. Now you can imagine, Mercy, in a meeting where there's 140 people, that's you spending about 6 crates of drinks, about 400 kwacha a day, about 20, 30 pounds. Now imagine somebody who is campaigning within Zambia. So that's why, from my observation, Mercy, a lot of people, they wait till the last minute to declare their interest in politics, because the moment somebody says they are aspiring, you become a cash cow. You become a cash cow.
Yeah, it's the culture that we've created. That's how it's been done in the past. Everyone always goes with something. So that's why there is that expectation from the people. It could change with time, but the thing is, there's urgency here to try and get rid of the corrupt government and to save the little bit that is left of our country. I mean, if this election, there isn't any change, and if we have to wait for people to catch up, you know, and be on the same level of education, then by that time, there probably won't be any country left to save, you know. The small percentage that is remaining, China would have taken it. So this is not so much about just the corruption of the current regime. It is also about the fact that they have no vision for the country. They have no idea how to run a country, and they keep selling and selling the country, you know, to foreigners, and leaving them there longer, we're going to have nothing left. So this is about saving the country as well. It's not just getting rid of a corrupt regime, there's saving the country. That is number one. We have to get back Zambia to ourselves, and then start cleaning up and getting rid of the corruption. So yeah, it is very, very urgent. Problems we're facing, major institutions that are meant to be independent, they are not independent. So what are we going to do? You have the police. When UPND property or UPND people are being attacked, there's no protection for them.
No.
Yeah, the perpetrators of acts of violence, they're not being arrested. So there's no fairness there. Then also you have the ECZ who are willing to break the law and limit the registration of voting to 30 days, you know, instead of the continuous electoral registration process as stipulated in the laws of Zambia. They're not adhering to that. So if you have institutions which are meant to be important, they're actually willing to break the law, or they're actually happy to infringe on human rights of the Zambian people, then we have a major problem. So the ones that are going to bring about change, it's the people of Zambia themselves, the ones that are knowledgeable and they can look past a cosmetic exercise and can see through things that there isn't development. And then now it is up to those people finding a way to break things down to a level that those that are not as educated as them are going to understand. You know, it's about waking people up and having them realize the fact that, you know, in the next 4 years, they're not going, that 50 kwacha would have run out. If anything, it won't even last a month. They need to have a different mindset where they are thinking, how do I survive from between now and the next election? That is the message that we need to be driving home. Then there's also, I'm not quite sure how to get past the violence, how people can protect themselves, because when you have situations like that where there's no fairness, naturally people are going to be scared. You'll be scared to be whispering things to someone because you don't know if they're going to snitch on you. Maybe they are close to a cadre somewhere. This is where you find people, you know, being attacked out of nowhere. So we need to do better as people. I mean, if it means getting an organization to oversee this election from elsewhere, we may have to do that. But at the moment, the ECZ is compromised. Sadly, they cannot run, you know, free and fair elections. It's just not going to happen in Zambia. So yeah, we do have a lot of work to do. I hope opposition can come together as well, not just one party. Like, you know, all the major opposition parties, they're going to have to band together. Because it's more challenging if there's one opposition trying to go for the majority, considering the state of affairs in Zambia. It's very, very challenging, as we have seen in, you know, what's happened in LUKASHYA. So we need to do a little bit more. All of the opposition parties, they need to come together. I'm not expecting the party of Miss Nawakwi to be joining in, because she has her own, you know, her own way of doing things. She seems to be more PF inclined. But for the rest of the, you know, the opposition parties, I think they need to band together to bring about the change that is needed. And it's people who are vocal, who are bold, who've been speaking against corruption when they've seen it, and people who actually have concrete plans to make Zambia better. So I haven't seen that boldness from Miss Nawakwi, from her party. She hasn't said to me personally, for me personally, I haven't heard her say anything about the 48 houses. I've heard her say nothing about the fire trucks that are inflated. I haven't heard her say anything about the violence that other opposition parties are facing. She's said nothing. She's been kind of on the fence and been very, very careful in what she says when it comes to PF. But with the level of corruption that is there in the country, you know, which is specifically attached to PF, it's surprising that anyone would be diplomatic about things like that. I mean, the level of corruption is just so bad that you can't, you know, be on the fence or diplomatic. You'd have to, it's right in front of you. So yeah, opposition need to come together as well to be able to defeat PF. And there's really need for an... Thank you.
Hold on, Mercy, wait. There's somebody who's just come on board called I Stand with Zambia. I just wanted, she loses signal. Hi, I Stand with Zambia.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Alrighty. I just want to say I'm so happy for all that you're doing for our country, Lily. I know it's not easy. I mean, you're on the ground right now and you're seeing the reality of it. So we see you hustling and we see you doing what you can. So just hang in there.
No, thank you so much. I Stand with Zambia. What is your comment about what's going on? Where are you based? I Stand with Zambia.
I actually live in London.
Really?
Yeah.
So you need to connect with Mercy and
Hello.
Mr. Kwachang.
Hi.
you guys need to...
I am actually a town planner by profession, so developing towns and cities and everything. And when I looked at Zambia, it was bugging me because I'm like, these guys, they always go into these villages and then they win the election. The other time they were in Western Province and they went there big, the whole gang, the whole PF gang, they won the election. A couple of days later, I'm watching the news and there are people complaining, oh, we don't have roads and we don't have this in the same province. And I'm like, but why did you vote for them in the first place? So it just bugged me. I'm like, what is wrong with these people? So I did a bit of research and basically it's like, usually like in the United Kingdom and I guess in other countries, you have centralized government and you have decentralized government. So a lot of the councils in London, they are decentralized. So they make their own money. They're able to make their own money. And so their boroughs are better or whatever. And I just found out today that there are those kind of plans actually do exist in Zambian provinces as well. But the government have taken away the decentralized powers from the provinces and they've now centralized everything. So that's why you have provinces or districts that are not PF led. They don't get any development, which is not the way you're supposed to run a country. So that's why they can go to these villages and say, well, if you don't vote for us, you're not going to get a hospital. And if you don't vote for us, you're not going to get a school. And if you don't vote for us, you're not going to get this and that. So these people are like, phew, okay, well, I definitely want a hospital. Okay, there's my vote. So it's not, it's actually blackmailing and it's not, it's definitely showing that they don't love the country. They don't love the people. They love the power and they love the manipulation. So that's why you have these people just voting for them in numbers because they want a hospital, they want a road, they want this, they want that. But there's a condition and there's a price to pay. Also, in these areas, like they're not connected very well to like the radios and the TV signals. So they'll only maybe get a couple of stations and these stations are state-run stations. Okay. So they're not privy to what we're privy to in the larger towns and the larger cities. So it's really it's very manipulative. And I remember the other lady was talking about education. Sometimes it works in the favor of the government to keep people uneducated so that they don't talk too much. They don't cause trouble. Sometimes. But now we're quite lucky because of the social media. People are able to log on and hear things and watch things on YouTube and be able to be enlightened. But it's definitely not something that the government are willing to put as something that they want to do for the people. It works in their favor. And so that is the reason. If it was bugging anybody, so why these villagers keep on voting these guys in? That's why they're being told, if you don't, then we won't. If you will, then we will. And that is not democratic. That is not loving the people. When Kaunda was building Zambia back in 64, 5, 6, 7,
it explains
go ahead.
Everything. Yeah, I'm saying that's true because then it explains everything. I mean, why would the villagers be voting for a government that hasn't developed nothing at all?
Right?
Like nothing. Somebody from Kasama today was saying there is nothing there.
And you just want to slap them in the face, like, but then you're going to vote for
them,
right?
It feels really sad. Yeah, but they voted for them. They've given them the vote.
Yeah.
It's crazy. So thank you so much. I stand with Zambia. If you can email me on Lily Mutam's TV, I'll place it now so that we can exchange numbers, and then you can be in touch with Mercy and see how we can strategize on certain things. Are you planning to come to Zambia anytime soon?
I would love to come to Zambia. I mean, you know, the whole quarantine here is so boring, you know?
Yes. That's why I ran away.
Girl, I knew that's why you ran away. I was like, Lily was sitting up in her house like, this is boring.
I got sick and tired of it. I'm going to Zambia. Girl, in Zambia, life is normal.
The central heating. I'm just like,
I got tired. Somebody's trying to connect, and this one is called Morris Wale. I got sick and tired of it. I'm going to Zambia. In that life is normal. The central heating. I'm just like, I got tired. Somebody's trying to connect, and this one is called Morris Wale. Okay, so Morris, how are you? If you can reduce your volume in the background, Morris. Somebody's trying to connect, and this one. I don't know what sound you have there that's making noise. You unmute your.
How are you?
Yes. I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, well, I'm disappointed because I was following these by-elections, and well, I'm disappointed. At the same time, what they say, what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Yeah, so I think we just have to go back to the drawing board and see what we can do so that next time we know what to tell the people. And then, by the way, listen. Wow. So now South Africa, they are opening borders 1st October, and I think I'm planning to come by 5th in Zambia. Yeah, I'll holler at you when I come. Ah, man, I can't wait. Then, well, coming back to the issue of the main issue here, I think also we need to change the strategy as UPND. What to tell the villagers. You see, the story we are telling the people from urban area differently with the stories we are telling the villagers. You see, the urban areas, when we talk about unemployment, when we talk about these 48 houses, when you what electricity, this thing of load shedding, those things, those things really affect urban areas, unemployment especially, and like as well. But going to the rural areas, I think the story should at least maybe just change a little bit. Rural areas, I think we need to talk about farming inputs and also FRA, like buying maize from them at good price. They need what? Because those people, like 90% of rural areas, they employ themselves, they are small scale farmers. So when we talk about load shedding, it's like it's more likely to be none of their businesses, because most power in their houses, they use solars and stuff. When you talk about 48 houses, to them, we've seen these things, like especially when you are talking unemployment. Oh, it's not really, it doesn't really affect them. It affects them, but villagers are more difficult to convince. So I think let's touch more on things that affect the villagers. Let's talk more about that, and then well, let's see, because also remember, villagers water from the wells and maybe dam and stuff. So let's talk about those things, that let's sit down and think, what do we need, imagine yourself in the village where there's no power. What are you going to need there?
Okay.
Obviously power is one of the
Maureen
last
still
things
there?
that will happen. It will take time to happen, considering our economy. But these things like the immediate stuff, like inputs, farming inputs, FRA, giving them fertilizer, and those things. Let's focus more on that. I think yeah, we can win these guys, but otherwise they are very difficult. Like I heard one of the rates there saying, they complain, we don't have this, that, but at the end of the day, look what they're doing. They are voting for the same. Now, from now, let's watch now to 2021 August. Let's see what going to get in what in those LUKASHYA and MWANSABOMBWE. Let's see. But otherwise, yeah, yeah. So let's see if the development, we'll just keep an eye. Some of us will be keeping an eye. What difference are they going to take from whatever it is there now? And then the same people again. If next year they go there, the mini meal, for them in Lusaka it's different. In Lusaka, if you come with the story of saying, you give the people mini meal, you give the people money, people of Lusaka, they can easily eat the mini meal and still not vote for you. We are different. People are different in the urban areas. It works in Lusaka that way, but in the village, guys, they are different. So I think we just need to sit down and see where we went wrong. Obviously, yeah. But 2021, we need to win. Then it is there in. I just want to say thank you. I watched the video when you were giving the guys sand, quarry. Man, I looked at those guys. They are just, some of them, I think they are there. I looked at them. I'm like, oh man, I could just imagine myself standing on those with those guys. I'm like, I could, I could be one of those guys there, and it's not happening in Zambia, man. Man, I don't know. I don't even know what to say. I'm coming to Zambia for the reason, and also just to renew my passport and stuff. But otherwise, it's a little, it's a bit scary when you see the situation, how people are living there. Sometimes I'm wondering, is there anything that can work in Zambia, like doing business, like the environment doesn't look business friendly, Yeah. Anyway, cheers, guys.
One thing I've been saying as well. I've been telling people. I said, look, we who live outside Zambia, we lose nothing if we decide to stay there and continue with our lives and continue investing in Zambia. But then when we're trying to fight for the people here, and then we have the MP literally talking about me in a meeting yesterday. And her message was, oh, there's a young girl who's come all the way from the diaspora that was cleaning the streets of London, and she now wants to stand as an MP. And I'm thinking, if I'm not a threat, why are you talking about me? So she's been talking about.
Yeah, there are so many things to worry about instead of talking about development.
Development, you see, because they now want to decampaign me, but at the same time, people are wondering, who is that young girl? How can you come from nowhere? And even at her age, she's determined to stand as an area member of parliament next year until she's 70 years old. Now, the question I ask the people in my constituency is, what are you, Maurice, a young person, going to do in this country if somebody who's 70 or 60 something is crying for the same seat that a young person should be?
Nothing.
And then you blame us when we live in the diaspora. We're living in the diaspora.
Life is short. Life is short. Nothing.
Yeah. We're there to find greener pastures. Because in a country like this, where we're trying to fight for our people, and then the old ones, they want to hold on to the position as if that position was made for them for life, till death do them part. You can imagine.
I mean, it's a very sad situation, to see, people, government. I was watching also this guy. Wow, it's a little bit out of topic, but I'll just mention it. Like Siawan, what he said, like our own politicians in Nigeria, still they invest in Nigeria. The 90% or 80% of Nigerian investment is Nigerians. When they make the money, they make they produce whatever they produce, they sell out. The money comes to Nigeria. Then the government is benefiting. In Zambia, there's still the money that it goes out. Then when it goes out, the other countries become beautiful. Then again, that's where they run to go for holiday. Instead of considering like, wow, let's build Zambia. Let's build Zambia first. I was watching somewhere, Zambian Observer. They caught about 11 miners, these guys are small scale miners in the village. They caught them. They had 200 and something grams of gold worth about 400,000 kwacha and stuff. I read, it was a long page there, and then I was just asking myself, okay, so why not give these guys license? Okay, you find them. Okay, you guys, you are doing this. Why not give them license? Do it legal, or maybe not giving them license for free. Make it cheap. Make it cheap for everyone to access it. Then when they've got license, they will sell at good price online. Then the money will obviously go to the bank, or maybe if it's cash, they will buy something. Things will be moving in Zambia. They will invest. No, everyone wants to live a good life, invest, to start their own businesses, to do what. But in Zambia, there are no jobs. They are not creating jobs. Again, they are stopping you from selling gold again. The gold that you go and dig, you sweat, you look dirty, you dig gold. They are stopping you again. And then what are you going to do? And then when talk about employment, that thing. That's even fed up. These African leaders, when talk about employment, it doesn't happen. But I just feel sorry for the guys that are dealing with gold issues and stuff. Because myself also, I was planning to come and venture into that market. Because here in South Africa, I've got some people who have big shops that buys gold. So I was thinking maybe if I go home and do this and that. But again, when I read these things of their getting the guys. So when first thing when I come, I want to come and check how it costs to get that license. I don't know how much it costs. Maybe you guys who are there, you can find out for us for now. Ah man, Tuachura sana. You know, also being in South Africa, I'm also tired. You know, I'm tired. I'm tired. Like I'm you know I'm not at home. Things are not okay. I want to go, but I'm scared. Like things are not. But again, at the same time, I'm tired. You know, like working for people. I'll never develop. I'll only work for the people. I want to go home and do something for myself. You know, when you do something for yourself, there's grow. But if you work for people, there's no room for you to grow. You only be a worker, especially us general workers. You know, it's good for those ones with guys with trade. Yeah. So, but yeah. Anyway, I'm coming. You know, maybe someone can find out for me there how much it costs to get a license. I'm coming. I need. I'm tired to be.
Email me that matter. Email me that matter. We'll talk about it more, not on media. Innocent, how are you?
Okay.
Hi, Innocent. Yeah, what's your contribution, Innocent? You're now in the dark. Hi, Innocent. How are you? Okay, I think Innocent is failing to join us for the whole time now. Hi, Innocent. Innocent Bwanji. I think he has bad signal. Okay, thank you so much for your contributions, ladies and gentlemen. I am so grateful. We'll carry on tomorrow. This week, I don't care about the lighting. I'm doing live streams in the dark. We are going to have our live streams in the dark. I have no choice. So thank you so much, Maurice Walia. Email me at lilimutamstv@gmail.com, and I stand with Zambia so that I can give you Mrs. Line so that you ladies can link up. Or don't close the stream. Wait till I end. Just be in the background, ladies, and then you can exchange numbers immediately after the stream. I'll leave you to discuss that. So just hold on. So thank you so much. I stand with Zambia. See you next time. Don't close. Don't go completely. Just wait in the background. And Mercy, thank you so much. Don't go as well. Wait in the background. Don't go. Wait in the background, and then I will add you guys to exchange numbers when the stream is completely gone. Don't go. Don't leave. Thank you so much, Maurice. See you. Thank you so much, everyone. We have been in the dark, but at least the message is clear. People are not happy with what's going on in Zambia. I've been in the dark, as you can see, and this is what I've been experiencing for the past weeks, and that's why I'm not really consistent with my life. But now, I don't care. You guys understand that I'm in Africa, so we'll do these live streams, even in the dark. Thank you so much for your contributions. I am so grateful each time people come on these live streams to contribute. I know people's spirits are very low today because of the by-elections. It was a bit of a disappointment, but see you guys on my next live stream. Thank you so much.